What's up, folks? Sean the Average Angler. It is Saturday morning and I am getting ready to go fishing. But I thought I'd put a video out because I got some new baits. Well, I've had these for a little while, so I've got to play with them a little bit. One is very, very popular, especially with the JDM crowd, and it's a great bait for quite a few techniques. Free rigging, you can Texas rig them. You could fish them on a jig head if you wanted to. Only one problem with them in my mind, and that's that they're one fish baits. They just tear up like nobody's business. And I love the baits, but they're $11 a pack. And you get 6, 1, 2, 3, 5 actually. So they're $2 a piece. So $2 per fish is what it comes down to. Now, in tournament setting or whatever, you want to catch fish. Well, I always want to catch fish. Number two, they're really hard to get at times. Okay, especially I like the bigger size. That seems to be the popular size. So anyway, they're hard to get also. All right, folks, thanks for clicking on the video. I really appreciate you taking your time to watch the videos I make. We're nearing the end of the year here, so Merry Christmas to everybody. Again, thanks for taking the time. Look, I would love to get up to 3,000 subscribers. That's probably a bit of a stretch right now, but if you can help me get to 2,900 before the end of the year, we got 10 or 11 12 days. It's a lot to ask, I know, but there's a lot of you watching the videos that aren't subscribed. So if I just got a small percentage of you to subscribe to the channel, it'd be greatly appreciated and really help the channel out. We got great things coming in 2025. Thanks again. The button's right there. It's free. Anyway, there's another alternative that came out recently, and we're going to discuss the differences between the baits, okay? And that is the DoLive Beaver. Okay, this is my one that they're great baits. The action's really good. One of the things I liked about this, if you go back and look over my previous video when I talked about these, is it has this dolphin kick, right? When it swims, these appendages kick like this, and it's got this dolphin kick through the water, if you will. Very unique, and unique actions go a long ways in fooling fish, especially with a beaver style bait, and the fish have seen so many of them. So because of that, this is different, and it seems to be working really well for me. Very, very popular on free rig. I like to Texas rig it as well, and I've been catching fish on my local lake with it. Now, the other one recently came out is the Rapala Bronco Bug. Okay, you can see both come in clamshells. This one you get 2, 3, 4, 5. You get 6 baits for $7, $6.99. Okay, to me that's $7. Here's that bait. Very similar in that it's hinged and it swims the same way. So it still does the dolphin kick through the water. But the key thing, the Rapala Crush City is much tougher on the hook and does not destroy itself with each fish. There are some differences here, and this is what I will tell you. Number one, they both say they're 4-inch baits. You can see the appendages coming down. Now, I assume OSP's measuring these tentacles. I don't count that. That's not part of the freaking body. It's about a 3.5-inch difference is what I'm guessing. I don't have a tape measure sitting here, but anyway, as the girls say, size matters. For me, the big deal, and I have a whole bunch of 3.5s in the DoLive Beaver. The problem I have with the 3.5 is the body shortens up and hook options become much more difficult. The DoLive Beaver actually doesn't bend as much as the Rapala. So what I can say with Jacob Wheeler and Rapala, they took a great bait and they improved it. Okay, they took some things they didn't like about it or thought they could improve, and they improved it. The other thing you'll see is these side appendages are the opposite direction. Now, depending on what you're doing with the bait, that's going to create a different sensation in the water. Really secondary action, because as you pull it, these should move a little bit, coming back into position. these are just going to collapse. I don't know the angle they're at. They may not do much of anything. And then you have the ribs here on the side, on the front here. Could give it some texturing, make it feel a little more natural. Whereas the DoLive on one side is pretty smooth aside from the lines, and then on the other side here, kind of textured. If you're wondering the color on that one, folks, it's called Jelly Craw. Kind of an oxblood brown on one side, if you will, and then a nice purple on the other side. I don't think that the Bronco Bug will be eliminating my purchases of the DoLive Beaver. It gives me an alternative, and I think depending on how I'm fishing them, I may choose one over the other. Now, one of the biggest differences, let's go on a couple little pet peeves, if you will, okay? They're in clamshell packaging to protect the baits. Now, the OSP is very simple because I just open it, grab my bait, close it up, throw it back in the box. This is one thing I don't like, and it's not just Rapala, a lot of companies do this. They have the clamshell stuffed inside of this plastic. Now, you could do this and toss this. Don't toss it, but you know, and then just operate off of this. For some reason, I tend to put it back in the package, and quite honestly, then it's a couple steps. I probably shouldn't do it because that's my pet peeve, right? Now I got to put this back in here. So I may be just better off throwing this away, working off of this, because it eliminates a step when you're out there re-rigging a bait or pulling out another bait. As I say this, I think that's what I'm gonna do when I'm in the boat, as I stuff it back in the plastic here. I know what the bait is. The only thing is you might color, but I mean, you can look at the color, determine what it is. The big difference I noticed in the baits, aside from what we've already talked about, is color selection. While the Bronco Bug comes in a lot of colors, they are much more basic to our typical American type colors. Okay, think brush hogs, those types of things. Whereas the DoLive Beaver comes in some really good colors, many more options. I'm not saying that the Bronco Bug won't get there. I think they've already started to release more colors because I just ordered some sprayed grass. I got some sprayed grass coming. But man, look at the difference in the bend of the appendages. And that was achieved by, this was one of the improvements Jacob Wheeler made, was in the hinge area. And you know, it's pretty strong. It's not like it's just coming apart. They don't come apart on the DoLive Beaver either. My problem is it always rips up at this end, and then even if I flip it around, it still wants to slide down the hook. So I can fish it, but by the time I get it back to the boat, it's kind of slid down the hook a little bit. That really annoys me. Look, this is a great bait. If someone has rigging tips for it to make these last longer, please leave them in the comments, because I do really like the DoLive Beaver, especially some of the colors I can get compared to the Bronco Bug. But you know, the bottom line is I'm gonna fish this Bronco Bug, and in certain applications I just think it's gonna do better because it's tougher. Flipping, punching, maybe when I'm free rigging, I'm gonna go with the freaking DoLive Beaver. I know a lot of you have used them, so leave some comments down there. And look, the knockoff game is, you know, it's fishing. It's been around forever. I don't think one of these is going to replace the other with the majority of consumers. I think there's a place for both. Anyway, Sean the Average Angler, gonna go out today, do some fishing, hopefully get some footage, go over some things with you on video. Cora's going with me, assuming the weather holds out. I don't like to take her if it's raining, but it's not supposed to rain until late this afternoon. So Sean the Average Angler, like, subscribe. We'll see you on the next one.